we have a lot of free time, and in the media, they're talking about OBJ and that tandem and Baker Mayfield, the next, savior. He had a hot start. And then to add on to that, Coach Harbs talked about it a couple times in meetings, and so guys kind of got tired of it. He was just talking about what it looked like on paper. And, guys heard that and basically like, it sounds good, but we'll see.
That's Earl Thomas, Ravens safety. John Harbaugh pushing the buttons and pulling the strings of the Ravens players to make them sick of hearing about the Browns. And so far it's working. The Ravens at 2-1, the Browns at 1-2, and the Ravens get an opportunity to show the Browns firsthand and up close and personal that the Ravens are a better team than the Browns. And Big Cat, going into this game, I can't believe I'm going to say it based on what I thought prior to the season. I think the Ravens are the better team.
The Ravens are the better team because the Browns have a lot to figure out. But if anything we learned from last night, it's that these teams that are, maybe a playoff team, they start the season slow. This week 4, week 5 range where desperation kicks in, I kind of like the Browns. I kind of like the Browns on Sunday, Mike. I think they're going to start figuring things out. Remember, they're new. There's a lot of new pieces there. And they have to try to figure everything, work everything together. They have a new head coach. I know he was, working with Baker last year. They're trying to work in Odell Beckham. They're trying to work with a bad offensive line. I think the Browns are going to be able to win this game just purely out of they're desperate. They want it more. The Ravens feel a little bit more comfortable. And the Browns' defense has been very good this year.
Yeah, my concern, though, is last night it was Doug Peterson, who has won a Super Bowl, who had been 3-0 on short weeks. Then you got Freddie Kitchens, and that explanation from Monday with the play calling gaffes in Sunday night's game that, hey, I'm new at this. I don't like that, hey, I'm new at this. I'm still learning the ropes. And that's the problem. They still are learning the ropes. So even though it is desperation time, I feel like processing adversity, recovering from a bad start, I don't know that they're going to be as good as it now as they may be in future years if Freddie Kitchens keeps the job. So I think the Ravens, after losing at Kansas City, a game that they tried to throw everything they could at the Chiefs to win that game, and I think they overdid it. I think they stick to the more basic game plan against the Browns and just go out and show everyone that they are even a little bit better, but I think more than a little bit better. I think a touchdown or more better than the Browns. All right, let's move on to Chiefs-Lions. I mentioned the Chiefs beating the Ravens. The Lions are 2-0-1. And look, the Lions have won games, as Mike Tirico said over the weekend, that in past years the Lions would not have won. They'd have lost those games. But the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, and for the first time in his regular season NFL career, Patrick Mahomes is playing in a dome. The over-under on his yardage may be 750.
I mean, you people just love talking about this, right? Patrick Mahomes playing in a dome for the first time. This is like the stat that I've heard a million times, including your internet son, my co-host. He just kept on saying it on today's show. But I think the Chiefs are just the better team throughout, and I don't think that's a crazy thing for me to say here. The Lions, you're right. They've been pressed everyone a little bit more than we thought, 2-0-1. No one would have thought the Lions would be undefeated going into this game, even though they have the tie. I think the Lions stay close, but I think the Chiefs will win this game just because it's so impossible to stop Patrick Mahomes for 4 quarters.
Yeah, I mean, I think Matt Patricia, the coach of the Lions, is going to take the game plan that the Patriots used in the AFC Championship game to slow things down in the Chiefs' offense, force Patrick Mahomes to take what's available underneath, take away the deep stuff, the explosive plays, the big, quick touchdowns. But I just don't think the Lions have the horses to implement it the way the Patriots did. And they don't have the offense to match touchdown for touchdown late in the game if they need to.
And what you just said, I mean, you're right. They probably will use the same game plan, but remember that AFC Championship game, what Patrick Mahomes did in the second half. The Chiefs, you cannot stop the Chiefs' offense for 4 quarters. And there will be a moment where they'll have to trade touchdowns with Patrick Mahomes, and I just don't see it happening.
Patriots Bills on Sunday, the 4th annual Identified Flying Object game in Buffalo. Every time we have this game, we think this is the chance for the Bills to show that they're for real. They're 3-0. I don't buy it. I got to see it before I'll believe it. The Patriots are still the Patriots. They've dominated everyone they've played. Yes, their opponents are a combined 0-9 so far. I still like the Patriots to go into Buffalo and remind everyone why they are the best team in the NFL.
What unidentified flying objects are you talking about? Are you one of those Area 51 weirdos?
No. It's a different kind of weirdo that has to show up for these games with the identified flying object. But anyway, who do you like?
I I think the Patriots will win this game. I like the Bills. I think their defense is very, very good. This is going to be the toughest test for the Patriots in the season because they have not played a good defense yet. And it's going to be a fun atmosphere. I love Bills Mafia. I love the city of Buffalo. I just don't know if that offense is there in the fourth quarter against what could be the best secondary, probably is the best secondary in the NFL with the Patriots. So I think it's going to be close. I think the Bills will have a chance, but the Patriots are the Patriots for a reason, so I would probably take the Patriots if you made me pick.
Yeah, I agree with you, although this is going to be their first real test this season, but I think they're good enough to pass any test that comes their way. Panthers and Texans. Kyle Allen gets his second start. He looked very good last week against the Cardinals. The Texans a sneaky 2-1. I mean, just because they mortgage their future, that means they got plenty of cash right now. They've got Laramie Tunsil. They've got Kenny Stills out of those trades where they gave up multiple first-round picks, and the Texans in position to separate from the pack in the AFC South. I think it's going to come down to the Texans and the Colts, and I think they're going to end up 3-1 after this one.
Yeah, I was impressed with the Texans going to LA and having that second half where they looked like it could have, gotten away from them, and Deshaun Watson in that offense rattles off 20 straight points. That was a very non-Texan game. Do you know what I mean? Because I think we both are in the similar spot where we've criticized the Texans in the past. We've always thought they're a nice team, but never for real. I never really thought, hey, this team can go on the road and win a game where they're down at halftime like that. That game in LA on Sunday, that kind of proves something to me, that this Texans team might be a little bit different than the Texans of the past. So I think they'll take care of business at home. And I'm going to view the Texans a little differently this year just based off what they did, even if you look at Monday night to open the season, to go toe-to-toe and, with the Saints in the dome, an electric atmosphere. I think this Texans team has a little bit more resolve than ones that we've seen in the last few years.
The one key to watch with the Texans as the season unfolds, at some point Deshaun Watson has got to get rid of the ball sooner. We blame the offensive line for him getting hit so often. He holds onto the ball for way too long. He's got to start making decisions faster. And when he gets to that point, he will be up in the top 5 to 7 quarterbacks in the NFL. All right, Washington at the Giants. The Daniel Jones show. He has his home debut at MetLife Stadium against one of the most dysfunctional teams in the NFL. I quote you all the time in relation to that franchise. Dysfunctional teams do dysfunctional things, whether it's not going with your rookie quarterback when you should or stirring the Gatorade with a sleeve of cups wrapped in plastic. But I like the Giants to win at home. I can't believe I'm saying it because I didn't think I liked the Giants at all this year, but Daniel Jones gives them something very different than what we saw with Eli Manning.
Yeah, that saying came about for when the Cubs were still a very dysfunctional organization, and they had a bunch of kids sign a card for Ron Santo who had passed that year, and then they found the Ron Santo card in the dumpster behind Wrigley, and there was a big story about it. So that's my dysfunctional teams do dysfunctional things saying. I'm going to go zig on everyone's zag here. I'm going to take the Redskins. I think the Redskins are not good, which is not that was not a hot take right there. I realize how stupid that sounded. Their defense is good. Daniel Jones had a great first game, a great first impression. I'm always nervous about the getting up that high and then having to do it all again. And everyone's seen you for a week, and you have to basically say, I'm going to be this guy week in, week out. I think there's always a little lull. And how about the fact that Saquon Barkley's out? I know that they won the game against the Bucs. That is a huge deal for this offense. And knowing the Redskins can plan for no Saquon Barkley changes how they can go against Daniel Jones, how they can game plan. Saquon Barkley leaves the game against the Bucs. It's a lot harder to game plan in the middle of the game than all week. I think the Redskins are going to win this game, Mike.
Short week for Washington, and dysfunction abounds for that organization, so I'm sticking with the Giants. How about this last one before we take a break? Titans are 1-2. Falcons are 1-2. Is the loser of this one done?
You just did it. I love it. It's the loser leaves town game, Mike. It's a loser leaves town. Loser leaves town. Also, I don't know if you heard, but the Falcons are my pinky bet for the year. So if the Atlanta Falcons win the Super Bowl, I will cut off the tip of my pinky. I think they are done. I am done with the Falcons. I'm done with Matt Ryan. I have a rule that I made up this year. If Mike Vrabel is being doubted, that's when you take Mike Vrabel. So I think the Titans will step up for this game. I think they're going to win this game. And then next week they'll probably score 3 points and Marcus Mariota will look terrible. But I think they'll show up for this game on Sunday.
I mean, throw out the playbooks, the film, the analytics, and everything else. You've hit the nail on the head. The Titans win when they're supposed to lose, and they lose when they're supposed to win. And that's the Titans. And once you accept that, you can understand how things work. And Marcus Mariota knows he's in danger of being benched. There was a moment last week where it felt like Mike Vrabel was thinking about putting Ryan Tannehill in the game. Marcus Mariota had no sense of urgency, down 2 scores late in the game against Jacksonville. They've had extra time to get ready for this one. They're not supposed to win it, and I think that makes it even more likely that the Titans win. I think your pinky's going to be safe for the same reasons we said earlier that the Eagles couldn't afford to go to 1-3. The Falcons can't afford to go 1-3 in that conference with all those great teams. They're going to be in 2nd and 3rd place in their divisions, taking the 5 and the 6 seed. The Falcons are going to be done. I'm not going to join you in the pinky swear thing. It's a dangerous habit that you're getting into because eventually you're going to have to cut off the tip of your pinky if you do it every year. You're not going to get lucky every year, but I think this year your pinky's safe.
Yeah, I don't know why you said the NFC South is some like murderer's row of teams.
No, the NFC. The NFC.
Oh, the
NFC.
NFC.
The NFC.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah, I'm sick of the Falcons. I always invest in them, if you will. You can figure that out. Weekly, I invest in them, and I think Matt Ryan and Julio Jones will always show up, and they have all that sizzle. And I'm done with them. I can't stand watching the Falcons offense, fail in the red zone and Dan Quinn play conservative football. I just can't watch it. So I think the Titans win, and I think I am safe that the Falcons will not win the Super Bowl this year.
This is big boy football. Chicago knows that too. So, we're not going to have any extra motivation that Chicago doesn't have. It's going to go in there with 2 heavyweights, and one's going to emerge with a victory.
Kirk Cousins saying Kirk Cousins things as he gets ready to take on Mitch Trubisky. Having the beard does not make it any better, by the way, Kirk.
That guy.
Look, here's the
Mike.
thing. The team that wins this game at Soldier Field on Sunday in the big spot, CBS, 4:25 p.m. Eastern, it's going to be the team that is able to best hide their quarterback, right? Get somebody else on the offense to make things happen. That's your ticket to winning, because if you put it on your quarterback, whether you're Minnesota or Chicago, you're not going to win the game. There's the analysis.
No, I agree. I mean, if you look at the Vikings this year, the 2 wins they've had, Kirk Cousins thrown the ball 32 times. The 1 loss they had, he threw it 31 times. Do the math. It's not hard to figure out that the goal of both offenses is to basically try to run the ball, play defense, and hope your quarterback doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Mike, 4-20, I think it's 4-24, Kirk Cousins all-time against winning teams. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, this is the opportunity, and again, it's all about hiding Kirk Cousins, riding Dalvin Cook. And I don't know how much you've seen Dalvin Cook this year. There's something different about him. It's man among boys type stuff. Every time he gets the ball, he explodes to the second level and often beyond. He's averaging 6.9 yards per carry. And if the Bears don't have Akeem Hicks, I mean, that's really the question. If he can't play on the short week with the knee injury, that takes away one of the guys who would help bottle things up in the middle and keep Dalvin Cook from getting through, although most of his damage has been on those outside run plays where Akeem Hicks wouldn't matter anyway.
I have a problem with your use of short week that you've kept on using. Short week is when a team plays. Short week is when a team plays on Thursday, not when a team plays Monday to Sunday.
Hey, Monday and travel home and a tough game, a game that was closer than it should have been. That has a factor. Look it up. The short week Monday road team, the Monday night road team struggles on the following Sunday. Look it up.
Did you watch that game that was closer than it should be, and it was a tough game? What? What did we watch?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, hey, it got interesting in the fourth quarter. I thought it should have been. You have to agree with me. It should have been 45-3. That was an embarrassment that the Bears let Washington back into the game.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't
I
it?
see what you did in there. No, that's fine. Okay. The Bears are going to win on Sunday. I'll guarantee it.
I got the Vikings.
Okay, great. Guarantee.
Will you put the tip of your pinky on that one?
No, we'll do a steak dinner.
Okay, sure. Well, I'll transfer you to you the one that Sims still owes me if I lose.
Perfect.
So I'm covered either way.
Wait, whoa. That means I have to go to dinner with Sims? Absolutely not.
Cowboys at Saints Sunday Night Football. Can Teddy Bridgewater continue what he did last week, where they had 265 yards of offense in Seattle? Seattle had more than 500 yards. Somehow the Saints won. Can they knock off the Cowboys?
Are you going to visualize? Are we going to visualize? You want to close your eyes?
But what are we visualizing here? Are we visualizing the Saints home uniforms, or are we visualizing the Cowboys road uniforms?
I'm going to tell it to you. We're going to visualize the dome. We're going to visualize the whistle guy, you know, the big whistle that he wears on his head, the guy who has the big ring on his head. We're going to visualize the sound of the dome. We're going to see
there's
the
gonna
Cowboys.
There's going to be some people dressed as referees with dark glasses on and sticks. We'll have that.
The Cowboys road jerseys, which don't feel as good. They don't feel it. They wear that weird blue thing where the sleeves don't really match. I think the Saints are going to win this game. I like them. I think that, you know, they feel confident in Teddy Bridgewater. Couldn't have asked for a better start for Teddy Bridgewater, by the way, to get spotted 14 points by your special teams and your defense. He now has a little confidence. I think the Saints can win this game. The Cowboys have played no one, and I think the Cowboys are good, but I always am nervous about the team that's played absolutely no one, and we anoint them the best team in the league.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I mean, I've picked the Cowboys, but I know how salty the Saints were last year after they went to Dallas and lost that game that kind of, you know, slammed the window shut on us assuming the Saints would be a Super Bowl team, although they still almost recovered and made it back. They were dominant until that game the Thursday after Thanksgiving against Dallas, and they have been waiting for the Cowboys to come to the Dome ever since then. All right, real quick, Cardinals Seahawks. Is there any doubt the Seahawks mop up the floor with them?
Nope. I'll actually get back to this game in our draft, so no doubt in my mind.
Buccaneers Rams. I feel like there's a window for the Bucs, but I think the Rams win.
I just closed the window. There you go.
All right, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.